What's up, everybody? Welcome back to
What is
another
up?
episode of Morning Market News, episode 38. So, we have 38 of these episodes. My name's Sal. We got Cody here. We are simply investing, and we're glad to have you folks in here. We know that people are trickling in. It is a Tuesday morning. So, we definitely understand, but we got some great news and things to cover for you guys. A lot of craziness going on in the market, especially the currency markets and finance and everything. So we're definitely glad to have you folks in here and really appreciate all your guys' support. As you guys know, this channel is supported by you guys hitting that like and subscribe button and help share the videos. And if you guys want to go back and check out all the lives, we're coming up on 200 lives total that we've done in a year. So you can go back there and look at all that content and give us some support there because we definitely go over some great topics. And we're going to have another great topic this Wednesday. Just haven't come up with it, but tomorrow evening we're going to have a nice stream as well. So
It's gonna
let's
be
go over the
nice.
basics like we always do in the morning. Got some great things to cover. As you guys know, we're still in just shy of extreme greed. We're still in greed at 79 on the crypto. And even though we're having a nice correction, about 5% correction on the market, 10% on some altcoins. Um, but you're looking at Bitcoin dropping 5.5% down to 65K, Ethereum at 30, just shy of 3,300, dropping almost 7%, Solana dropping 7.5%, XRP dropping 3.7%. We have Polkadot dropping, excuse me, 9.48%. We have Chainlink dropping 2.4%, still holding, still a good, great time to get in there. Litecoin up 2.5%. We also have Cosmos down 6%. We have Arbitrum down almost 8%. And we have good old Quant, as soon as I get down here for it, uh, down 6.5%, down to 121. Still a great chance to get in on it. As you guys also know, the market cap is 2.45 trillion, down 7.5%. So nice little correction. Trading volume is up 47% from yesterday. My guess is that with the dip, we got some people who are dollar cost averaging in, trying to time these dips, and are entering in, which is what I'm doing. I'm buying some chain link today as well with some dot. I just saw dot was in the $8 range, so time to scoop up some dot. And of course, my normal dollar cost average into quant and Bitcoin.
Chainlink's the only
As of
one I'm
right
deep
now,
in.
sorry, Cody. Let me just fix your sound here real quick. Hold on.
Oh,
Okay.
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. It was just there we go. That sounds a lot better. You can go ahead, Cody. I can hear her. Well, once Cody comes back on for us, as you guys know, I'm not dollar cost averaging in right now into Ethereum, although it's still at a good price. If you are doing your like a scheduled dollar cost average, it's great to still do it. But right now, I'm not dollar cost averaging into anything but Quant, Bitcoin, Chainlink, and Dot. So that's
Sorry,
just all I'm kind
somebody walked in my room. But anyway, like I was saying, the only one I'm really DCAing into is Chainlink, only because I already have big bags of other coins. Like I already have a big bag of Polkadot, I already have a big bag of Quant, and I want to get as much Chainlink as I can before 2024 ends. We still got eight and a half months of this year about, which is still a good amount of time to DCA. You know, if you add in $1,000 a month for 8 months, that's 8 grand. You know.
of. Oh, absolutely. And you got to keep in mind these prices. We're going to be kind of hovering right now. We're not going to go up probably a lot. We're not going to go down a lot.
I was saying
It's just
that for
another
this
good year.
summer. I feel like
Yeah.
from after the halving until September, Bitcoin's and crypto is going to be like in a flat line. We're going to have some pumps occasionally. But I think overall, from after the halving, post halving until September, crypto is just not going to be moving that much.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, you are 100% correct on that. That's my opinion too. I don't think it's going. I think it's going to try. They're going to try and keep everything stable. I think uh, the institutional investors are getting into it, but they're only getting into it between 1% and 2% of their portfolio positions. So they're not going to be putting in any more money than what they already have this year. The biggest
Yeah,
thing that's
they've already allocated.
I'm sorry, Code. I didn't mean to cut you off there. Um, but let me just finish this thought here real quick before I lose it. The biggest thing that's going to affect the markets is not going to be even the average retail investor. It's going to be what we've been calling the last several months called the Tate effect. The Tate effect is a lot of these guys, young guys, are going to start getting into crypto trying to earn money because they're trying to earn that high value status. So they think investing in crypto is going to be a way to do it. I have a feeling this summer is going to flood it in there. So that's what's going to keep it stable for you guys. Oh, Cody, I think you came on. Are you there, Cody? Oh, here we go. There we go, Cody. I think you're on there. There we go. I think you have yourself muted. Let's see here. Okay. Well, as you guys know, we do it live, and sometimes this app does not work very well, and Cody is using it off his phone. So while Cody tries to get back in here, we'll go over some more of the basics, going over with the stock market because it is now pretty much it's getting ready to open. The stocks are down about 1%, so it looks like we're having a little bit of a correction in the stock market, but it's nothing too big. It's just a normal ebb and flow correction that's going to take place there. And there's really nothing going on with stocks. As you guys know, I'm dollar cost averaging into all my stock positions. I'm just not putting in a lot of money because I believe the stock market is pretty much at its top and it should drop a little bit. We should see a 10% or 15% correction over a 12-month period soon. That's just how I feel. And then when we see that correction, I'll start dollar cost averaging again heavily into my stock positions.
Yeah, I saw a guy on Reddit who had like 150K in stocks and like 200,000 in crypto. He had like Bitcoin. He had like 1.3 Bitcoin. He had like 80 Solana. Had like 250 AVAX. I was just like, damn.
Yeah, he looks pretty set.
He has
Looks pretty set.
150K in stocks, 200K in crypto. It's yeah, he's set. Especially with Bitcoin and all that, he's set.
Yep. Just like one of our good supporters, George. I don't know if he's watching, but he was active last night in the Discord. But yeah, it's he's doing very well. He's got his plan and his picks, and I can tell you this: it's going to be a pretty good run up if you've been dollar cost averaging on a scheduled basis, like Cody and a lot of other of our great supporters, and you're going to make it as long as you're not putting into degenerate projects because there are a lot of degenerate projects out there.
Yeah. Chainlink is actually one of the most like anti-degen type projects. Like a lot of people don't understand Chainlink yet.
Oh, absolutely.
Even after it being out for like what, 6 years?
Yep. Well, what you guys also got to understand is Chainlink. Well, Chainlink has been doing a lot of work the last year, and they just posted on their YouTube channel another set of 10 videos that I haven't had time to watch yet, which I'm going to watch today. But they posted another 10 videos on there about what's going on in the network, interoperability, they're building speed into the network, more developers and how they're helping them, Web3, all that stuff. So they are working very hard. So I can see a lot of value being once the masses figure out that Chainlink has all this value, the price will start to reflect that. Right now, the price does not reflect the actual value of Chainlink.
See,
So
a lot of people's issues with Chainlink, and I see this on the internet all the time, is people say, "Oh, well, the Chainlink Foundation, they are manipulating the price of Chainlink. They sell their Chainlink tokens. It's never going up because they sold their Chainlink tokens." And every time I hear people say that, I'm like, you must have just gotten into Chainlink, because if that was the case, how come Chainlink 5x'd from June of 2023? So literally in less than a year, Chainlink went from $5 to $21. How is that how is that price suppression?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, let's take a look at the chart here.
Now,
And
some people say the same thing about Quant, especially because Quant hasn't been moving. People are like, "Oh, Quant team sells their Quant." I'm like, that's probably. I mean, they probably do, but not to where it manipulates the price.
hold on, guys. I got a call coming in, so I'm just gotta quickly answer. Okay, we're back in the Sal. So I apologize, guys. We do live. I do run a couple businesses, so sometimes I gotta start answering my phone, and we're getting into the season. So
What would you, out of two coins, Avalanche versus Chainlink? Because I know Avalanche is working with Chainlink. They already announced it. But AVAX token or the Chainlink token? It's like, which one is the better ROI? Like sometimes, like I think it's gonna be Chainlink, but sometimes I feel like it's just getting hype.
Well, Avalanche does have a lot going for it, but my bet is still Chainlink. I just think it's just a better long-term position to have in your portfolio. It has a better core management team, has a better like overall business model, and and they seem to like the hard work they're putting into it is building like tangible value to the network. So the value of the token is going to go higher and maintain its value instead
Have
of
you
go
looked at
down. Like
the
not like no, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Cody.
Have you looked at the Grayscale Chainlink Trust and how it's appreciated in value?
No, I haven't.
The Grayscale Chainlink Trust is actually like increased in value like by a crap ton in the past year, and that tells me that a lot of institutions are trying to get Chainlink exposure.
You could be right on that.
Because
But
if you look at the Grayscale Chainlink
Mhm.
price, G-Link, I mean, it's up a lot.
Yeah, we'll have to take a look at that in a quick second. I'm just trying to pull up this chart here. But as you guys can see, for the last was it like 9 months, we've been seeing some positive action on Chainlink. But for the rest, for like for during the down period, so when crypto was kind of in that strong bear market, which is kind of in a weird market position right now anyway, but you can see here it just stayed flat because people thought, oh, it had died. Average retailers had thought it had perished, but it really hasn't perished. It just has uh, it's hard to describe because like it's when these projects happen, there's work that they're doing that you don't necessarily see unless they talk about it. And given how it's a good thing in business to keep secretive until you know you're ahead of the pack. They're not going to say anything until it's too late. It's till their competitors can't really catch on to what they're doing. So the fact that Chainlink is now starting to announce everything means that it is significantly undervalued. And I think the highest value it had,
52.88 in
yeah,
2021.
52.88. We are probably really at about between $50 and $55 valuation right now. It's just that investors have not peaked it up to that point yet.
Yeah, and see, that's what I'm saying. It's like a double above all-time high is easy. You know that I'm trying to at least make a 5x on Chainlink because that's I see a easy 5x out of Link. I just do $100. You know, $100 is only like a 50 something billion dollar market cap.
Mm-hmm.
That's nothing for a blue chip altcoin. Solana has 80 billion. That would still be lower than Solana, like very possible.
Oh, absolutely. I and Solana is going to look like the better option just because it's more popular. You guys also got to remember Solana is in like mainstream media's mouths all the time. So when CNBC talks, they talk Bitcoin, XRP, Ethereum, and Solana. They don't talk about anything else.
Yep.
They don't talk about Chainlink. They don't talk about Quant. They don't talk about Arbitrum. They don't even talk about any of the meme coins other than Dogecoin and maybe Shiba. That's it. Like they don't
Speaking of
talk about
Arbitrum, the tokenomics are the only reason why I don't buy Arbitrum. Just because I don't like how there's 1.8 billion circulating, but there's 10 billion locked up. Meaning that over the span of the next 2 or 3 years of you holding and DCAing into Arbitrum, even though you're DCAing into it, you're getting diluted in value. And that's what I don't like about the Arbitrum token.
it is. And let me pull up this tab here for you guys. So as you guys know, I am holding Arbitrum, but keep in mind my risk factor is different from your risk factors, guys. I put 100,000
Yes.
into this, but if I lose 100,000, I'm not going to be too worried. Don't if you
You're
guys
good, yeah.
if you guys are fearful of losing what you have, this is not a position you should hold. This is kind of like that. I wouldn't say it's a lottery bet, but it's kind of like I'm betting on this, but I still have my big bags on everything else. So I got to pull up what I got my portfolio again.
Arbitrum's a great layer too. Like it's quick. Like it's a great project. I just don't like the tokenomics of it.
Oh, absolutely. And that is a huge risk factor with the tokenomics. But you guys got to remember Arbitrum, even though I have that position, Arbitrum is only 6% of my portfolio. It's not a huge position. So
And that's a good balance.
I'm losing 6%, but it's not going to affect it in the long term. Now I have like Bitcoin's 27%, Ethereum is 12%, DOT is 11%, and then everyone else is like 9%, and then we got
What's
like
quant on your portfolio?
Quant is 9% of my portfolio.
Gotcha. That's a nice percentage. Quant
Oh,
is
yeah.
45% of my portfolio. And Dot's like 40%, and then Chainlink's like 20%. But that 20% on Chainlink for me is gonna rise. It's gonna match up with my other bags.
Exactly, and that's how dollar cost averaging works. And guys, keep in mind that like I'm in a different position than Cody and probably most of you. My I built I built 4 businesses, and now I'm in the position where we're starting to do really well. So we're starting to make a lot of money. I was able to invest over the last 2 years, and I just happened to get insanely lucky. I want to keep that in mind for you guys. It was insanely lucky that at the time crypto had the best prices, I started having the best year of my moving company. And then we still had good prices in 2023. And I had one of the best years, even though I was down, I had one of my best years profit wise for all my businesses, even though revenues were down those years. And I was able to invest a substantial amount of money into stocks and crypto just at the right time. So
Yep.
keep in mind, even I, as a licensed stockbroker, and I have businesses that are doing well, it was an insane amount of luck that I just happened to have my businesses in the position to make money at the right specific time to be investing in everything. That was a miraculous coincidence that will never, ever, ever happen again, probably in 1,000 years. Probably not, definitely not in my lifetime, and definitely not probably to anybody I know, because it's just that was an insane lucky thing to happen that I was ready to invest right when it was the best time to invest. So my profits on my stocks and crypto are solely really based on luck, followed up with 10% of making some pretty good decisions on what I invested in. So it was like 90% luck that I happened to make the money to be able to invest at the right time to invest. That's it. That was it. And you guys will have that, and and when you guys have that, you'll start to feel like you'll start to understand life is really good, because it's kind of crazy to think it's crazy to think at that point, because you're struggling and you're working off the sweat of your brow trying to get to that spot. But once you get there, you'll feel lucky that you got there. But I
Yeah,
want to emphasize
exactly.
to you guys that it's different.
That's how I'm gonna feel, when this market takes off. Well, I say this a lot on the streams, that I'm putting up with a lot of BS in life that I don't technically have to put up with right now. Like, for example, I work a job I hate. I live at home. I don't have a car. Meanwhile, I have most of my money in crypto and stuff like that, and that's helped me because eventually I'm going to be able to move into a position to where I'll have money, I'll have my own place, and I'll have my own car.
Exactly.
I've
I
been
do
putting up
apologize,
with a
guys.
lot of I tell myself all the time that I choose to live this lifestyle, that if I wanted to be average, I would sell it all and just buy a car and not have that much money, but I'm not settling for that.
Well, what you guys got to understand too is, I know we're getting a little off topic here, but it's very important to your goals as to why you are investing. Period. Is that Cody has had a pretty rough start, and is working the way out of there. When I started these businesses, like it wasn't all cupcakes and rainbows. It sucked. It absolutely sucked, because I mean, there was a time I was eating what was that? I was eating this, like, the canned spam, and we were dicing that up, and that's what our protein was. And that people were like, "Oh, you lost weight, Sal. How'd you?" I lost weight because I couldn't afford to eat. We were building this business. I just couldn't afford it. And now we're in a position where, everything's starting to come together. But I was very lucky that it just happened to work out that way. That's what I want to emphasize to you. It's like a lot of us who do make it, most of us attribute it to luck. It is an insane amount of luck sometimes, just being in the right place at the right time.
Yes. When it comes to being in the right place at the right time, yes, 100%.
Yes, because, like, it just so happened that I started my moving business in 2019. We struggled for a couple years, and then right at the third year, all of a sudden, like, everything was coming together, and the market hit its lowest low right when I had my biggest payout from my business into my pocket. So I was able to invest quite a bit of money. And you guys can see I was putting in like 2 or 3 grand, and then all of a sudden 2 or 3 grand a month became like 10 grand, and all of a sudden I was doing like 50 grand chunks into my investment. I was just like dropping the money in. And this year's looking like it's going to be even better than last year, because my competition, like I say, 60% of them finally bit the dust and stopped like ankle biting me. So I'm getting ready to take off this year.
Oh
So
yeah, I've seen them come and go. I've even seen, different moving companies in my area, and some of them don't make it.
absolutely, and that's what you guys got to understand. Like, owning a business is not the best way to go to make.
No.
I mean, if you make it, it looks like you did phenomenally well, but there's 99.9% of the people that failed into oblivion. And the easiest way to make money is do it like Cody is. Work a job, excel at your career position, whether you like working for them or not. Just work and excel, increase your income so you can increase the amount you're investing in, so that one day you can go find a job that you like or go and do something that you really want to do.
Exactly, because right now in the industry I work in retail, right? So it's like it's easy to say, oh well, if you don't like the management, go quit and find another job. Yeah, but finding another retail job, it's the same problems. So like, let's say you're at one retail job, you don't like your management, you don't like your job, you're like, oh, I'm gonna look for another one, and then it's gonna be the same type of dynamic. So you might as well, whether you like it or not, just do the best you can and get out. That's what I'm doing with my job. I absolutely hate how the management is. I hate how I get treated there because sometimes, it's never good enough and I'm talked to like I'm an idiot. But in reality, I've never missed a day of work. I've never been late. I'm always early. And they try to nitpick everything that I do, but I still show up and I do my job.
Yes. And as long as you can do your job well, earn your money, and even if someone's nitpick, just say, "Hey, I understand that this seems to be an issue. How can I do it better for you?
Yep.
Tell me what to
Every
do."
time they tell me what to work on, I fix it, and then they find something else. And it's not even big things. It's not big things. It's little things, like in the kitchen and stuff. It's little things. It's a toxic management. Like they don't even care about how I feel. I tried talking to the manager. He kept talking over me. He kept talking over me and interrupting me, talking over me, not even letting me get in word out. And I'm trying to tell him how I feel, and how things are going and what I don't like. He's ignoring me.
And sometimes that will happen. But in order for you to appreciate a good manager, sometimes you have to work for the worst people.
Yep.
A quick story for you guys. When I was doing my very first job, which was called an errand boy, which was you basically sat in it in like a corporate office and you were like, go get the coffee, go get run their errands while the executives are at work, right? So I had this one boss who was a complete and utter asshole. He was an utter asshole. I'll never forget. And he made my life hell. But I was there at that company for 2 years. And I never forget, he made me do research on some type of project for the company. So I did the whole research. I read like 13 books for this, and I drafted up like a 40-page document as to how and why you should execute this strategy. He didn't even open it. He looked at it. I don't think he saw me, but he looked at it and then he threw it in the trash.
What? And you wrote
That
40
was
pages?
Yes. Now, keep in mind, I was only 17 at the time. I did all this work, right? I was upset, but it gave me my first lesson into what corporate America is. Nobody gives a shit about your feelings.
Nobody.
Nobody
It,
does.
I might even say outside of corporate America because,
Yeah,
man, I talk about how I feel all the time and people don't understand my life. And they're like, well, you have the money, you have investments, you can get out of it. Or that they don't know your life, but they're trying to speak on your life. And see, that's why I
exactly.
just tune everybody out. Even people that I thought were the bestest of friends, I talk to them about how I feel and stuff and try to vent, trying to see like, oh, do I have a good friend? Like, is he gonna listen to me? But they don't care. People just don't care, and that's just how life is.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And like I said, like business doesn't care. And like I said, I'm a business owner. I'm struggling. I work 18-hour days. I do a lot of stuff. And I have guys that don't show up, treat me like crap, and then they will hound me if I'm like a minute late. Like if it's like the post office doesn't deliver the paychecks or FedEx doesn't deliver the paychecks at the exact time, they go off the handle.
Yeah.
And that's just how life is. But I try to tell you guys, like, if you have a mortgage, your mortgage doesn't care that you're going through a divorce. Your mortgage doesn't care that you have cancer. Your mortgage doesn't care that your parents passed away. It does not care. They want their money at the same time every month, no matter what the circumstances are. And you guys have to understand that. If anything, millennials and Gen Zers can understand from a Gen Xer, the business does not care, life does not care. The world will keep moving with or without you.
Yep.
No, like that's just how it is. And you have to accept that. And you also have to accept that you're not going to change a big business in 3 months working for it. You may not even change it in 30 years working for them. They are who they are. You have to accept that business is business. It's nothing personal. People do dumb crap all the time in business. Just take it on the chin and keep moving forward. And if people hate you in business or at your job, just know that you're probably doing a good job. Now,
Yeah.
unless if you know that you're effing up, then you gotta fix that.
Can I tell you about this real quick, Sal?
Yeah, go ahead.
There's this girl at my job. Her name is Vicky. She's not a boss. She's the same job position as me. Not my boss, not a manager, not even in lower management. She is the same job title as me, right? Yet she talks to me like I'm stupid and she tells me what I'm doing wrong and stuff. And then when I go to the upper managers, they're like, Cody, don't listen to her. She's not your boss. And yet she still tries to boss me around. And there's times where she yells at me over the smallest stuff. And her tone, like she's got a potty mouth. Like she'll cuss all the time while she's doing it. And she every time she talks, she sounds like she's nagging or like miserable or like about to cry or complaining about something. And this person just hates my guts no matter what. The way she talks to other people nice, doesn't talk to me nice, gives me bad looks. I'm like, what have I done? I've never missed a day of work. Never. I've
Yeah.
never been late. What have I done?
And guys, sometimes that happens. And you just have to. This is where everyone's talking about emotional intelligence, but nobody really has it. This is Cody's scenario is kind of the point where you need emotional intelligence to kind of navigate it, and that's hard for anybody because those type of things aren't really criticisms, and they kind of are but aren't, and it's just one of those touchy things, gray areas you got to navigate,
It's
and that's
almost
just how the world is.
I've almost
That's
had
just how that's
days with her. I've almost had days with her to where I just wanted to lose my cool, not fired. But there's been days where I wanted to dish out, use the same tone, use the same voice, use the same looks. There's been times I wanted to give her the same energy she gives me. But I remind myself, just fake it till you make it. It's just a job. I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make money.
Exactly. That's the one thing I can say for a lot of Gen Zers because you guys are hopeful and want to make friends. I get it because a lot of people Cody's age in your early 20s, you guys have less friendships than us Gen Xers had at that age. So you guys are having a hard time like disassociating business with friendship. And that's what leads to a lot of workplace conflicts. You just got to be professional and understand that where you're working is part of your plan for your financial future. So let's not mess it up. Let's only try to move forward. And sometimes the best thing you can do is just smile and nod and just let them yell at you because at the end, they're going to be the ones that say, "Oh my God, I'm the asshole." I mean,
Damn, I disconnected while I was talking. But
no, sorry.
basically to sum up what I was saying though, it's like I have to fake it till I make it. There's been days where I wanted to go off on her and say stuff that wouldn't get me fired, but just enough to where she'd get the message. But I remind myself that it's just a job, and I'm here for an income and not to make friends. And not only that, a lot of those people that are working there currently, that's their for life job. That's not my for life job.
No, and Cody is absolutely right. Like your first job in your 20s is most likely not going to be your for life job, but it will be the job that can take you to your financial goal by 30 if you make the right sacrifices along the way. I mean, there's a lot of 23-year-olds like Cody that are trying to live life and live the experiences, and they got no money, and then when tough times happen, it's blame the economy, blame everybody, but no, it's your own decisions.
Bro, I keep disconnecting every
It's your
time.
decisions. Oops, I guess Cody finally There we go. He's coming back in. There you go, Cody. I guess we're all set. We do it live. Cody, can you hear? Okay. I think your mic's going good, but that's what I'm trying. I try to help you guys is that you can't focus too much on the negativity of the job, especially when you're in your 20s. That first job is meant to get you to your financial goal. If you are in your early 20s, I suggest you get a financial advisor. You go to them and say, hey, this is my plan. A lot of them will do it for free because they know that in 10 years, you'll be a great client of theirs. They will help you set up. I recommend. I'm not a paid sponsor of them, but I recommend my financial advisors with Northwest Mutual or Northwest Pacific. I'm sorry, and Northwest Pacific. They give you a whole layout and exactly what to put in, where you want to go, where you want to be, and everything. Go sit down with one of those professionals. Go sit down with one of those professionals because they can help you get there. I sat down with him when I started this business, and he helped me get to the position I'm in, which is making a huge chunk of money. Last year, I made the most money I've made in a very long time in a year. So just keep that in mind. But now we're going to go back on. We're going to go talk about Porch Moving Group. This is one of my positions. It is, as of right now, let's see, Porch Moving Group. Porch Moving Group is 29, well, now 29% of my portfolio because it is going gangbuster. This is still a good pick. If I let me pull up the year chart for you guys, or the 3-year chart for you guys. So the day. Pull up that 3-year chart on Porch Moving Group. You see that this is where they were at about the low 20s. And it's been hovering down here for a long time. You are still down in this bottom graveyard, and they are making a profit after they borrowed all that money to buy a lot of their competitors. So they're in a really, really, really good position. Plus, they also expanded to other household services such as maid service and handyman work. So it's only a matter of time before they start attracting electricians and plumbers and all that stuff. So I can only imagine where they're going. Their only biggest competitor is Thumbtack, which now Thumbtack has gotten a huge private investment from Google of 9 figures. So if Google's entering that space too, we got to see where they're going to go. But I still think Porch Moving Group is a strong bet because they do have a lot of big corporate contracts on their moving side. They have a lot of contracts on their cleaning side. So they are primed and ready for some significant growth. And I think over the next 10 years, this is going to be a great pick. I was buying right around it was like $2 was when I caught on to this stock, and I was buying it. You could see in our lives, I think it was June and July, I was just buying heavily. Now, I started buying this in April of 2023. But when I saw it hit 55 cents, I was buying the same amount. I was getting tons of shares. So right now, my total position in Porch Moving Group is worth 1.14 million off of those investments. And I probably spent about $300,000 accumulating a crap ton of stock because it was at the right price. Now, it's still at a good price for you guys. And keep in mind, what stocks I'm talking about, I got my money where my mouth is. So if I lose, I'm going to lose on it. But also understand we're in two different positions. If you do not have money in your reserve, you got a family to take care of and everything, this is not a risky position that you're going. I suggest you invest only in index funds and use Betterment and Wealthfront to build your wealth. And then once you get to those are stable, then start investing in things like this. Because this is still risky. Although I did make a crap ton of money off of it, it's still a risky position. Just keep that in mind, guys. But I still say I
How
did a
did you
whole.
originally find out about Porch Moving Group?
I was actually in the company. My moving company was in the network of companies that they bought, and I realized that they bought it, so I looked them up. And I realized that they were a publicly traded company, looked it up, been around for like 12 years. And I saw that they were expanding and they were borrowing money, expanding, and they were making profit to pay off the debt. So they're going to pay off this debt in like another 2 or 3 years with the rapid growth that they're having. And that's going to cause the value of the stock to explode. My estimates on this is in 10 years, this should be around a $40 to $50 stock in 10 years. And that's not accounting for stock splits. Because if it goes up over 100, I am positive they'll split the stock and then start doing buybacks after that. But by 2035, I would not be surprised if this is around $50. But you guys got to understand, yes, that you're not going to get the quick profits you would off of crypto because it's not, stocks are not as volatile, but this is a stable position. And I always have a guaranteed buyer from market maker. So if I wanted to exit out, there will always be a buyer. There's not always a buyer for crypto. So, but in the long term, this is a very, very good stock because they're involved in areas that are unaffected by the advancements of AI. And we're still like a couple hundred years away from robots and having robots deliver stuff like in iRobot. We're a long way off from that. So they're in a field where no matter what changes in technology, you still kind of need movers. You still need handymen. You still need plumbers, electricians, cleaners, maid services. So junk removal experts. So we still need that. And those are still going to be labor intensive positions. And the robotics is nowhere near where it's going to replace. So this is a strong company to hold over the next 10 or 20 years. I'll probably keep dollar cost averaging into this company and hold it till the day I decide to retire, which I'm planning on kind of slowing down at 65. And right now I'm 40. So, I'm a little, still got a long ways to go, but that's where I plan on retiring. And I think I can get there. And I'll probably hold the stock through there, like with Walmart, Microsoft, Apple, and
My goal, my
I'm
goal is
sorry.
to
Go ahead,
retire
Cody.
as early. My goal is to retire early as possible, and I know people, see that as delusional, but I want to go for it. At least in my 40s, 35, 40. I want to try my hardest to hit a good 8-figure, possibly 9-figure net worth. Possibly.
And it's like I said, it's very doable if you start early. For me, 9 figures might happen for me by the time I'm 60, but I definitely won't hit any higher than that.
See,
I'll just
me
barely.
starting at
No, go ahead.
19. I started my investing journey at 19, and I've been doing pretty well, especially after this bull run. Like, I should be in that 6-figure range, but my goal is by 30 to at least hit my first million by 30. At least by 30, hit my first million, and that's still 6.5 years away, which is very possible. But in my 40s, I want to hit that 8-figure range. I want to hit at least 10 million by 40.
And that's very obtainable in Cody's position, especially since if you're staying true to your course and your financial goals, it's very possible to hit that. It's very
Yes.
possible to hit that. Moving on, I kind of want to touch on this briefly. I know it's Trump net worth plunges 1 billion from the media stock. I'm trying to find the stock ticker. Let me see if I can find it on here. Oh, come on. Let's see here. Truth Social. Oops. Man, I'm having a hard time pulling that company up. Here we go. Let's see if I can find it. If anyone knows the ticker, DJT, got it. Okay, let's go over to here. DJT. Here we go. Okay. Here we go. So here it is. This is the truthsocial.net company, DJT. So Trump Media and Technology Group Corporation. This has lost a shit ton of value, but it gained it back right around when they started indicting Trump. Now I want to say this. This is a very, very risky play. It's like it looks like this is being pumped. And now that the shares can be sold, it looks like it's getting pumped up from it. So, and they lost $58 million last year with only revenues being $4 million. Now, it's a social
That's a
media.
negative.
That's a huge negative. Not like a big negative, but that's in technology. That's an assumed. They're right in the assumed loss range. Now, you do have a lot of Democrats, ragging it. You do have a lot of people ragging it. But let me tell you about Truth Social from an investor standpoint as to why I think this is a risky stock and it's being pumped up as an exit strategy. So just keep that in mind as we go through this. This stock has been tied pretty heavily to Donald Trump. So as you can see, it's been on the rise right when it launched. There's all this stuff Trump was doing, and we were launching it, and people had their, all the conspiracies, right? But now that it's tumbled down, all by this time in the middle of 2023, all of the available stock has been released. Now we're at the 2-year period where now it can be, now people who have been given the stock can now sell it. And it's no coincidence that this year, all of a sudden, it's being spiked. This is a classic boiler room tactic, pump and dump in a stock. This is behaving exactly like what people describe a pump and dump, because its true value is probably a lot less than what it was before it got up into the 50s, because they're only making $8,000 off of every user, and they only have a few million users. Keep in mind, they're trying to compete with like Reddit, Twitter, Facebook, and they make way more money and have been established for many years. What I think will happen is that this stock will pump up to about 75. Trump's going to borrow against this for his whatever, for that bail that he needs, and then watch this stock go down. Watch it go down, because this company isn't making any money. Now, if it can't get more investors to come on to cover the losses, what's going to happen is this company is going to see its true value, which is probably between $1 to $2 per share, maybe $3 at a strong case. And what I think is going to happen is that it's going to disappear, because I have a feeling it might actually get delisted if it drops too low. But just be aware, like, the trading volume is going to start increasing, and a lot of Trumpers are going to buy this, and they're going to pump up the value. Trump's going to get a loan off of it, and then the value is going to be left, leaving the Trumpers with the bag. And that's going to be a rotten potato. And what I mean by that is, you think it's valued here, but it's actually true value is here, and the market's going to correct to adjust that. And you're not going to be able to exit out. because by the time it corrects, because these guys aren't checking every day, by the time it corrects to the point to where they want to sell, it's too late. It's delisted. And once something is delisted, market makers no longer are required to pick up the stock or make or buy it from you. So now you're stuck with the stock. I learned this from a mining company I invested in 10 years ago, trying to make a quick buck. And I lost, I'd say I lost quite a bit of money. I think it comes out to around $800,000. I lost on it 10 years ago. That was a pretty big loss. So I just want to say you gotta be careful with these type of stocks because the price of this stock is solely reflected upon the political environment. That's it. That's it. There's no value in this company. There's no profit in this company. There's nothing to be gained in this company. It's not doing anything in the market that is making it a necessity to be there. So the value is going to go down. It may go up right now, but it is going to go down. By the end of this year, this company is going to, or the stock is going to go way down. So I would not get on board with this stock. Not at all. Not at all. I would stay away from it, far away from it, because this is not a stock you want in your portfolio, and you don't want to make it a big bag either. If you were in, if you got in around $16, if you got in around here in the $10, between 10 and 20, cash out now. Just cash out now. Take your money and cash out now, because that's probably the best thing you can do with this stock. And with that, okay, I just want to cover the Trump situation there. There's really no other news we got to talk about. Kind of covered everything for you guys. Like I said, this has been an odd year because it's been quiet. Like nothing. There's been no FUD news, takedowns or anything. It's just been regular stuff, and the market's doing well. So, but keep in mind that we both crypto and stocks can see a correction. Real estate's going to see a correction. I can already tell you, like the industries surround that are reliant on real estate are seeing corrections. So just keep that in mind that this is going to be like Cat Williams said, this is going to be the summer that reveals all. That the people are going to be brought to light. So businesses that aren't making it are going to be brought to light. Scams are going to come to light. We're already seeing it with celebrities. So I have a feeling kind of like the populace is waking up, and you're not going to revere these people too much, and we're just going to get back to like, let's work hard, take care of our families, take care of our bills, not consume as much. But speaking on that, I know that there was an article, like it was like the last 2 weeks, a lot of stuff on TikTok talking about how women have been the biggest home buyers and everything. Let me tell you something. Even my own marketing strategy goes to target women for moving. But let me tell you something. It's not a coincidence that you had the biggest FOMO period in real estate, and simultaneously you had the biggest, the record purchases of homes by single women. I'm telling you, they buy on FOMO. What you really need to look at is not who bought the home, but who kept their home when the market turns south. Because let me tell you something. I'm doing a lot of REOs, and that's bank eviction cleanups. I am cleaning up tons of homes that were, I could tell this was a woman that owned this house. You could tell by the products in there and the stuff left behind and food that was left behind in the fridge. That means these are going to foreclosure. They are getting cleaned up. The bank has taken the asset, and now the asset's going back on the market.
Damn.
I'm telling you, look at the foreclosures. Don't look at saying, oh, look, so many of such and such group bought homes. Look at how many of that group kept their homes. Because if 90% don't keep their homes, then you know it was a cash grab. Now, I can tell you right now, it was a cash grab. They advertised, targeted uh single women. Now when they say single women, it's not like women with no kids, no family. It's just any woman who is not legally married. That's what they're tracking. And I have a feeling we're going to see some record foreclosures because I can tell you right away, especially with my ex-wife when we bought our home together, she really wanted to go for a house that we really couldn't afford, but we could get with 10% down rather than get the home we got for 25% down. You know, when you put down 25%, you avoid a lot of the nonsense that jacks up the price of your mortgage. That's why I like to do 25% down. I have a feeling that we're going to see a lot of foreclosures because a lot of single women, younger people bought too much home with too much mortgage at a very bad time. And now that everything's getting assessed higher, taxes are going up, your insurance is going up because you put 10% or less down, your PMI is going up, your mortgage insurance is going up. It's just crazy. So be careful, guys, out there. We're going to kind of call it a day here because I do have to run my company and I have an interview coming in about 40 minutes. So I don't want to have this go too long. But keep in mind, guys, the market's really crazy. It looks good, but there's a lot of stuff underneath, like the job market, the real estate market. There's a lot of cracks starting to form. So just be wary. Invest in things you understand. Invest in businesses you understand. Don't invest in something because I invest in it or Cody invests in it or any influencer invests in it. Do your research, do your due diligence, and if you have any questions, seek out a financial advisor, not a broker, a financial advisor, certified financial planner and advisor, because they will help you the best to get you on track where you want to be with your finances. But with that said, guys, we really do appreciate all you guys joining in. We had a lot of viewers on all the channels. So thank you so much. And thank you for viewing. Catch the replay on YouTube. I'm going to have to leave for the day. We may be back on in the evening for another live. So really appreciate you guys. And thank you so much and have a great and wonderful day and stay safe out there. So we'll check you guys later.